You know that quiet moment when you scroll through your feed, and for a second, it feels like everyone else is moving faster than you. Not physically faster, but somehow living more fully, making choices that seem effortless while you hesitate. Maybe you pause over a post, over a headline, over a life decision, and wonder why it's so hard to just settle into it all. There's a subtle tension there, a sense that your attention is constantly in flux, that the world is too large and too loud for anyone thought to stick. Most people wouldn't notice it, but you do. You feel it in your chest when notifications pile up, when you switch tabs again, when you catch yourself drifting in a conversation. It's a restlessness that doesn't have an obvious source. And yet, when others see this, it's easy for them to misunderstand. You might be called indecisive, distracted, lazy, or overly sensitive. People might frame it as a flaw, a lack of focus, a kind of weakness. But that's not quite right. There's nothing inherently wrong in how your mind moves. The pattern you notice, this constant scanning, reevaluating, absorbing, and discarding, is part of how you navigate a world that feels simultaneously vast and unstable. It's adaptive, even if it doesn't fit neatly into expectations of productivity or calm. This is part of a larger, often misunderstood picture. It's the psychology of your generation, the behavior and inner life of Gen Z. There's more going on here than surface impressions suggest, more than headlines about screen addiction or fleeting attention spans. You're often labeled as digital natives with short fuses for boredom, but that only scratches the surface. Beneath the scrolling, the multitasking, the endless curiosity, there's a mind constantly negotiating uncertainty and change, a mind built to process a reality that didn't exist for previous generations. Neuroscience helps explain a lot of this. The human brain evolved in relatively stable environments, but your generation has grown up with relentless information flow, constant connectivity, and unprecedented social visibility. Research shows that chronic exposure to rapid, fragmented information can heighten neural sensitivity to novelty. That means your brain is always scanning, always alert, not because you're restless by nature, but because it has adapted to a world where missing something can feel consequential. Dopamine, the neurotransmitter linked to reward, plays a role here. Each notification, each snippet of news, each viral post triggers tiny bursts of dopamine, not in a way that's inherently bad, but in a way that keeps your attention moving. This isn't a defect. It's a neurobiological response to an environment designed for constant stimulation. Psychology offers another layer. Behavioral studies on uncertainty tolerance show that humans raised in unpredictable environments develop heightened sensitivity to risk and reward. You've witnessed and continue to witness social, economic, and environmental upheaval at scales previous generations didn't. That creates a nervous system that is alert, adaptive, and cautious, even if it appears inconsistent. Your hesitation, your constant evaluation, your desire for multiple options, these are strategies your mind uses to survive complexity, not signs of indecision. Childhood and early experiences shape this too. Many of you grew up learning to negotiate adult sized pressures in spaces meant for exploration. You've seen instability, financial, environmental, social, at a formative age, and your brain internalized the need to anticipate, to scan for patterns, to prepare for change before it arrives. The hyper awareness you feel in daily life is your nervous system saying, I'm ready. The same qualities that others misread as distraction or avoidance are actually the echoes of survival strategies that once protected you from uncertainty. It's important to acknowledge that this isn't inherently better or worse than other ways of being. People are wired differently. Some thrive in slower, more linear patterns, and that works perfectly well for them. Your style of engagement, your vigilance, your constant internal negotiation, this is another valid wiring. There's no moral hierarchy here. Your generation's adaptations are tools, not flaws. Recognizing this removes the implicit judgment that can weigh on you when others frame your behavior as wrong. But there's a paradox. The same hyper awareness that protects you also comes with quiet costs. Constant scanning can create mental fatigue. A nervous system wired for unpredictability can struggle to rest. The same brain that thrives on novelty can also feel overstimulated, anxious, or perpetually dissatisfied. And yet, there's a hidden strength here. You can synthesize vast amounts of information, empathize with a wide range of experiences, and adapt to changing conditions in ways that older models of resilience never accounted for. The restlessness is not the problem. The problem is that the world often mistakes it for a deficiency. Think about how this translates into your life. The times you feel pulled in 100 directions aren't random. They're echoes of adaptation. The uncertainty you feel about choices isn't indecision, it's a system calibrated to survive complexity. Your responsiveness, your sensitivity, your tendency to question everything, these are traits forged in the context of a rapidly evolving landscape. They are neither failures nor shortcuts. They are mechanisms honed to navigate a life that demands flexibility, attentiveness, and subtlety. Your experience is real, valid, and valuable. There's a kind of quiet power in how you process the world. You notice patterns others miss, you weigh possibilities with care, you feel deeply, not because you're fragile, but because your wiring is tuned to absorb nuance and consequence. You are not broken. The tension you feel, the restlessness, the scanning of options, it all makes sense when you understand where it comes from. And it all has purpose, even if that purpose isn't immediately obvious to the people around you. If you felt this recognition, there's more beneath it, layers of insight about how your generation navigates emotion, attention, and connection. There's a deeper understanding of why your relationships, your sense of identity, and your approach to the world often feel different from what older models predict. And the more you explore that, the more you realize that your way of being, your neuropsychological pattern, is quietly powerful in ways the world has yet to fully appreciate. You might find comfort in knowing that the restlessness, the vigilance, the curiosity that sometimes feels overwhelming is not a flaw. It is a mirror of adaptation, resilience, and a nuanced sensitivity that's rare. And if you stay curious about it, if you stay attuned to it, you may discover insights about yourself that feel almost like hidden maps, guiding you through a world that often seems too fast, too loud, and too uncertain, but in a way you are uniquely equipped to navigate. There's a lot more to this pattern, to how it shapes your interactions, your emotions, and your worldview. If this resonated, keep looking, because understanding it is like uncovering the architecture of your own mind. There's more to see and more to honor in the way you experience the world.